Hello everyone, my name is Heather Autumn and welcome to my channel. Alright, so I've been out and about doing all kinds of things lately and I just wanted to spend some time at home. So today I'm going to show you 3 recipes that all add up to around 1,700 calories. So I'm going to be showing you a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and because it's starting to warm up, it kind of reminds me of where I grew up in Florida, and when I think of Florida, I think of usually Latino food. And I'm going to start today off with a high-protein Southwestern breakfast bowl. Now I personally love breakfast bowls because it has like a variety of different flavors and you can eat those individually or you can mix them all together, and they usually taste really good. And it uses sweet potatoes, it also has black beans in it, and it is so good. And I can't wait to show you. And before we start all of this, of course, if there's a recipe that you really want to try for yourself, please check the description below because I will link to my blog where I'll have everything all written out. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is get the sweet potatoes in the oven because that's going to take around 25 minutes to bake. So what you want to do for that is to wash off your sweet potato and roughly dice it. You can take the skin off if you want, but it has tons of nutrients in it, so I would suggest leaving it on. But you're going to put that on a baking sheet, preferably covered in parchment paper, and you're going to sprinkle that with salt and pepper and olive oil. Just make sure it has a really good coating on it because that's going to crisp up in the oven. For the oven itself, you're going to preheat that to 425 degrees, and then you're going to pop those in and let them bake for 25 minutes. So while that's baking, you can go and start cooking your bacon. I prefer to have mine on the crispier side, but again, the preference is yours. And you're also going to want to scramble 1 to 2 eggs. From there, I also heated up some of the black beans in the microwave, as well as chopped up a red onion to garnish. Once your eggs are done, you can start wilting your spinach, or if you like your spinach uncooked, you can just put that directly in the bowl. You can top this with all kinds of things like cilantro or salsas or pico de gallo. And for me, I just chose to add a little bit of cotija cheese, which is a little bit salty kind of cheese on top. There's a lot of different variables depending on serving sizes and how much of each item you add, but in general, this should come to around 308 calories per serving. And it also has around 16 grams of protein, which means you're going to be feeling fuller for longer. All right, so now it's lunchtime, and this isn't Latino in any way, but I like the ingredients and they sounded fresh and just perfect for this time of year and the season. So I'm going to show you how to make a peach panzanella salad with burrata and bacon. Now burrata, I've seen a lot online. It's this round, almost like a mozzarella, but it's very moist and it looks just so good for a cheese. And of course with fresh peaches, this is a very fresh looking salad. So for salads, the first thing I want to do is work on the vinaigrette so that I can get it in the fridge and nice and cool before lunch. And so for that, I'm going to grab a mason jar and I'm going to add in a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 2 cloves of garlic pressed, but I classically cheated this by using jarred minced garlic, so the choice is yours. A half teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. So once that's all added, just give it a good shake and put it in your fridge until lunch is ready. So for lunch, you want to cook some more bacon, and this is something that you can do ahead of time. Next, you want 1 to 2 peaches. Next, for your salad base, you want some fresh lettuce. I would recommend either iceberg or butter lettuce for this one. You can also use arugula. After that, you're gonna add in a ball of burrata cheese. Next up, you can take sourdough and cube it, or if you're lazy like me, you can go and just buy croutons, and that way they're ready to go and it's nice and easy. So you're gonna assemble this all into a bowl, and then after that, you're going to pour in your nice vinaigrette and you're done. Now this this is a heartier kind of salad, especially if you go and eat the whole burrata. So the calories for this one is going to be around 572 calories. And again, this is subjective based on how much dressing you use as well as how many other things you add to it. But in general, that's the reported calories for this. And this is also going to have around 15 grams of protein. Okay, I'm going to admit with this one, I don't trust the calorie counts because the burrata was like taking up 2 seats in this bowl and it really should have only taken 1. And this is the problem with sometimes cooking for 1 person, because I always have like these giant leftovers, or I should split something, but I also want a really good thumbnail picture. All right, but with this bite, I have a little bit of everything. I have that burrata cheese and some of that peach, as well as the bacon, and I used some butter lettuce for this one. So here it goes. That is a fantastic summer dish. There's the sweetness of the peaches mixed with the saltiness of that bacon, and then the burrata is just so creamy textured. But overall, I'm gonna eat my lunch and I will see you for dinner. All right, so it's dinner time, and tonight we're having shrimp tacos with a mango salsa. So we're gonna start off with the mango salsa so that I can get that in the fridge and cooling and get all those flavors together. And so here's what you're gonna need to make that. First thing you're gonna do is finely chop a ripe mango. And an easy way to part the mango from the skin is to use a glass, as I've shown here. It just slides right off of there, and then you can easily finely chop that. Next, you wanna dice a red bell pepper, and next you wanna do a half of a jalapeno. Now for me personally, I decided to add a whole jalapeno, so it's really up to you how spicy you want it. Next, you want to add in the juice of 1 lime, and then to that you want to add a half a cup of chopped cilantro. Once that's all done, you want to mix it all together and put it in your fridge to chill. Next up, you want to work on the cream that goes over these shrimp, and for that you're going to need 1 cup of sour cream. Feel free to use a lighter version of this if you wish. You're going to want to add a half cup of chopped cilantro to this. Next, you want to add in 2 teaspoons of fresh lime juice, or you can use the bottled kind, which I did. And then you're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of honey, followed by 1/4 cup of green salsa. Now, if you live in the South like me, you've also probably heard this as salsa verde. And considering that I don't use this very often in my cooking, I decided to opt for a small can of it rather than a large jar of it. And then just add salt and pepper to your taste and mix that all together, wrap it in saran wrap, and also pop that in the fridge. Next, if you're using frozen shrimp, now's the time to thaw those out, as well as shred 1 cup of your red cabbage. Now this whole thing serves 4 people at 2 tacos each, so you're gonna use 8 soft flour or corn tortillas. Once your shrimp are all thawed out, you can go and use some olive oil in a pan and cook them over medium heat. Feel free to add some chili powder as well as salt and pepper to those. Just make sure you cook them all the way through. Alright, so our tacos are all done. I could have used smaller tortillas, so I'm noting that for next time, but I still think it's gonna taste great, so let's give it a try. This might be 2 bites though. Yeah, it's definitely gonna take 2 bites because the first bite was just tortilla, but this has all the good stuff in it, so I'm gonna try this again. So if you know me in real life, you know that I'm a sucker for seafood. I love it. And I can't turn down a good shrimp or fish taco. When I tell you that this is something that I would happily pay frickin' $15 for, plus tip and probably a drink, I'm not lying. So of course the shrimp is great. Adding that little touch of chili powder to it gives it a nice flavor, good seasoning. But you have the crunch of that red cabbage and it adds this color. This is a very colorful dish. All of the additives to that sour cream were absolutely necessary. I am not regretting adding the whole jalapeno as opposed to the half. Again, it's your preference, but for me, I felt like it just added that little kick that the whole dish needed. It was sweet, but it was also kind of a little spicy. I'm not kidding, I really liked how this turned out, and I'm loving that I have extras in the fridge for later. So I hope you like this, and as always with all of my recipes, please check the description below because I will link to my website where I'll have everything written out, and you can try all of these. I have a second taco to work on. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Sunday with a new episode. All right, have a good one. Bye.